Проверка озвучки. Все отлично. Просто все работало. Так, что-то, мне кажется, сейчас жарко в комнате станет. Ну, пока что как-то так. Да, карту, соответственно, я закрывать не собираюсь. Пока что. Потому что это очень долго, нудно и так далее. Ну а вот отправиться уже по сюжетной линии просто необходимо, потому что скоро теория выйдет. Мне нужно, чтобы у меня линия с ней была открыта. Давайте, наверное, не знаю, кто увидит, не увидит эту трансляцию. Сделаем по классике, отправляюсь сюда, сажусь вот сюда и приезжаю уже вот сюда. Так будет вполне более логично. Ну да, раньше пришлось вот это все открывать, чтобы Навию, блин, прокачать, там, ну, такая вот ерунда. Но чё ради теории не сделаешь? Надеюсь, у нее реально будет такой скверненький характер. А тут уже, в принципе, все близко, да? Так, выбрать направление. Направление, в принципе, прямо. Это здесь находится. Так, здесь вот уже корабль. А почему я вот этот большой не могу сесть? Я хочу на большом поехать. Или это так, декорация? Ну, сейчас проверим. А, и возьму, наверное, вот эту булькалку. Где она? О. А, понятно. Ну да, нельзя. А, бензин. Печаль, беда, тоска, обида. Езжай на своем мелком кораблике. Так, и нас уже тут кто-то должен будет встречать, да?
After crossing all that sand and water, we finally made it! Oh, this must be Fontain's port! Wow! Everything looks so advanced in Fontaine! Paimon's heard that the industry here is extremely developed, and there are all kinds of unusual machines! Just seeing the sights as a tourist is nice, but maybe it would be better if we found something to do. What do you think? Good idea! Nahida gave us loads of useful information. Seeking out the Seven is probably still our best source for information at this point. Yeah, the more we can learn, the better. So, what do you think the Hydra
Так,
Archon's like?
кого мы сейчас первым встретим, мне интересно.
Nahida said that she has a very unique personality, whatever that means. To learn about a nation's god, start with the nation's people. There seems to be some locals talking over there. Let's go see if we can join the party.
If you ask me, it's a tragedy how things ended for him. Clearly, he was a pretty decent person.
Yeah, I didn't expect that kind of ending for him. I thought he would at least fight on a little longer for his family. I was expecting a sudden plot twist, but it's a pity that it never happened. Still, his...
Про какого-то чувака разговаривают, у которого трагично закончилась судьба.
Excuse me.
Can
I help you too? I couldn't help.
Hi. We're travelers new to Fontaine, and we had something we wanted to ask, but...
Play? Oh, no. We're talking about something that really happened.
Really? Like, a real trial?
Well, good tales are often based on true stories, aren't they? And what you see in reality may also be someone deliberate. Whether something is true or not simply isn't that important. The main thing is whether the story being acted out on the stage... Oh, but it looks like you're not from around here. You probably don't know that the Fontaine Court of Justice is called the Opera Epiclese, or more commonly known as just the Opera House.
На самом деле, кстати, вот эта вот фишка, да, допустим, суды, это типа тоже как спектакли, они, короче, разыгрывают. То есть у них два в одном. И где-то в реале такое есть, по-моему, в Англии. Но так как Фонтейн это вроде является прототипом Франции, я не знаю. Насколько мне показалось, это Франция.
No worries. Other visitors to Fontaine have wondered the same thing. You could say that we just... And as for your worries about whether the cases are treated with due reverence, we have the absolutely just and honorable, as well as the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal, a machine created by the Archon. Between the machine and the Chief Justice, false charges and injustice are a thing of the past now.
Pure trees? Is it some kind of machine too? Oh, Paimon's curious. Wait, Paimon almost forgot to ask you our question.
Oh, that's easy. Just go to the Opera House. Lady Farina practically lives there. You could definitely say it's her biggest passion.
I think what they mean is that they wish to speak with the Archon personally. In that case, I am afraid it's going to be a tad more difficult. You'll have to make an appointment well in advance.
Huh. Is the Hydro Archon super busy taking care of official stuff?
No. Lady Farina seldom takes an interest with the nation's affairs. The reason...
That's right. After all, she is the Archon. Though she may tend to get a little dramatic from time to time.
Huh. First time Paimon's ever heard of an Archon being described that way before. Wait! Paimon gets now! The Hydro Archon is kinda like a big celebrity here, right?
Yeah, I suppose you could say that.
Hang on. This is still Fontaine's Archon.
Yes, you're right. I guess I should at least try to be a little more respectful in front of visitors. Otherwise,
Come on. Sure, there's a lot of laws here, but nobody's going to be arrested for saying...
Alright, I think we get it. Thank you! At least we now know that
Ну
we
все, давайте, завязывайте эту пустую болтовню, я хочу кого-нибудь из персонажей интересных встретить.
Guess we could have a look around this. Hey! What are you looking over there for? Huh. Something's the matter. She isn't going to jump into the water, is she?
Фига у нее на тапках полигонов было. Так, сейчас вернусь.
The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water, transitory.
Кис-кис-кис-кис-кис.
Hello there. Excuse me.
Huh? I'm fine.
Oh, okay then. We just know.
About many things, actually. But there's nothing I can do but just keep my troubles to myself.
Ну, в принципе, это логично.
I was just reminiscing about a place my brother and I would play when we were kids.
Вот
It
это
was
вот
just atop that hill over
вхождение, я
there.
говорю, сразу подойдите к девушке. Кис-кис-кис. Чтобы не убежала.
You're pointing at the sea.
Ты указываешь на мой, подожди. Ты хочешь сказать, что ты и твой брат жили в воде? Может, русалка? Да-да-да.
No, people call the waters around Fontaine a sea. It's actually just an inland lake that's filled with fresh water. And though I can still see that hill clearly in my memories, now it's been completely submerged. He would skip and jump, tossing sand in the wind.
Не, ну, на самом деле она какая-то разговорчивая, прям
And the air was
не
filled with
как
the scent of the
описывали.
sea.
Я так глянул немного, так сказать, личные характеристики там некоторых персонажей, которые будут появляться в сюжете, плюс-минус, да, вот кратку именно, то есть без спойлеров, чтобы было.
But now, the water is gradually swallowing our memories. It won't be long before it's swallowed.
Sorry.
I don't believe we've had the pleasure of meeting. Are you Lynette's new friends?
Oh, and you.
Thanks for looking after my sister. She often comes here to reminisce about our childhood, that's all. There's no need for any concern. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Linny, and this is my sister Lynette. If I had to guess, I'd say you must be travelers from abroad.
Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. We just arrived in Fontaine. We were just talking with your sister.
I see. It's unusual for Lynette to be so willing to talk with anyone. In fact, she seldom speaks at all. I'm usually the only one she ever talks to.
Oh, really? Then you two are just like us. Paimon's always the one talking for some reason. So that's how you think it is?
I also think my brother can be too talkative at times.
Seems you were right, Paimon.
Так, и что там, кстати, по этому? 360, все правильно.
So, what did Lynette mean just now when she said...
Oh, that. It's from a prophecy that's been circulating in Fontaine for some time now. Well, I suppose prophecy isn't exactly the right word, because that implies a certain amount of uncertainty. There's no doubt about where to begin. Let's put that question on hold for a moment. We still haven't formally greeted...
Did all the introductions earlier not count?
Hello, traveler. And hello, Paimon.
Hey! Why didn't Paimon get a handshake? You're not poking fun at Paimon.
Please, don't take offense. Just consider it a sort of etiquette we have here in Fontaine when making new friends. You should remember it. It might prove you...
Oh, all right then. Well, Paimon's just happy to have a local friend now. By the way, we were just getting ready to go to the Opera House to meet the Hydro Archon. Would you be able to show us the way?
So you're going to see Lady Farina? No problem at all. In fact, I was planning to go to the Opera House later myself. I'll gladly take you once I finish things here. Please follow me.
Так, ладно. Фига ее крутануло. Хвостом зацепилась за что-то.
You
You said you were going to see Lady Farina? Well, it seems Lady Farina has come to see you.
So, she's the Hydro Archon? But how did she know we were looking for her?
My dear people, rich and poor, those with cup in hand and those with nothing at all, raise your glasses in celebration. If you don't have one, then just raise your hand in lieu. As you can all see, two unfamiliar travelers have arrived in our nation. Come, let us make a toast in honor of this traveler and her companion who have journeyed here from distant lands.
Какой-то цирк, реально.
Is she talking about us?
Действительно, я тоже заметил, что бокалов ни у кого нету.
I've long heard of the turmoil and chaos you've left in your wake as you visited other nations. But I welcome you nevertheless. No, I have come to receive you
Фига у меня
personally.
глаза разные.
Fear is for insignificant cowards. I am a god, and I will never entertain the notion of such meaningless wariness. You can be rest assured, I see clearly your sincerity. Of course, seeking an audience with me is the most sensible thing to do. It will allow you to truly behold my power and witness my authority. Intelligent people always gather under the correct banner. I, Focalor, hereby welcome you to the nation of Hydro and acknowledge the value and significance of your trip.
Yeah, Paimon still can't believe it. But the Hydro Archon's entrance was, Miss Hydro Archon? How did you know we were coming?
I see. As Outlanders, you inevitably lack even some of the most basic understanding. Don't forget that even the gods can be divided into the mediocre, and you had best stop and consider. Do you really have the noble qualities and etiquette necessary to communicate with a god? All it takes is a flick of my...
Whoa, talk about sounding high and mighty.
Oh? What's with these looks? Perhaps the welcoming ceremony...
Wow, I didn't expect to see Lady Farina here. What a surprise! Wait, does this mean they're the legendary blonde traveler? How did I not notice?
Hey, what's all the commotion? Oh, is that Lady Farina?
Да, целый цирк тут находится.
Going on? Of course. That's the blonde traveler. The one all those stories are about. Lady Farina came here to...
Ooh, I've got to see this. I knew Lady Farina would never...
Yes, but don't get too excited now. My dear believers and spectators alike tend to get quite rowdy. And despite the noise, I've come to tolerate all their... You may consider this my reward to all of you. I have determined that there will be an epic duel between...
Now she wants to fight? Aren't we getting a little ahead of ourselves?
Are you not afraid? Might I remind...
What are you trying to do, traveler? Provoking a god in front of her people?
Stand down, Clorend. I admire her bravery. Unfortunately, people nowadays only
Yeah, she's right. Just a duel.
On Araneus, criminals are always requesting duels to defend their honor. I'm getting a bit old to tell the truth.
You see. Then, as the god of justice, I...
All right. Now
Да,
that
ну и дура она какая-то, реально.
Right. This is Fontaine, after all. Such a grand...
Why do you care so much about the crowd's reactions? Seems you've spent a little too much time. Besides, how exactly do you plan to have a duel in court? You mean you're going to put us on trial?
Oh, we have reason to put you on trial. According to Fontaine law, no one is permitted to release any flying objects within Fontaine city limits during the first 3...
Oh, so that's what they've done wrong. That's Our Lady.
You call that obvious? What kind of laws?
Precisely! Now, if you two have no objections, then in the name of the...
My apologies, Lady Farina. I don't mean to spoil the fun. I don't think that Paimon here meets the definition of a
You tell her, Winnie! Finally someone who's not crazy. How could anyone call Paimon a flying...
Ah, great magician Linny, my beloved citizen. I'll permit you to object.
As a magician who just rained on your parade, I naturally should shoulder the responsibility of saving. So, with such an audience gathered here, allow me to perform a
Ta-da!
What's that on Paimon's back? Hey! When did Winnie do that?
There. As you can all clearly see, Paimon should be classified as, well, something like a balloon. This rope has been in the traveler's hand all along. It was just that no one could see it before.
Huh? You call that magic? You've got to be joking.
I thought it was pretty good.
Huh. I'm not sure what to think. It seems Lady Farina's charges no longer hold...
Amusing. Very amusing, Linny. Just the sort of unexpected twist that I enjoy. With you here, today's performance can finally be called complete.
Да, но это цирк, а не спектакль просто на самом деле.
In which case, consider the matter of your trial resolved. The god of justice will not bring charges against an innocent person. But when there are valid grounds, I will not only judge travelers from abroad, but even the gods of other lands.
Ну да, попробуй Райден тоже, блин, осудить, которая порежет сразу ее. Или ту же Нахиду, которая просто умом может ее переиграть.
I look forward to seeing your upcoming performance at the Opera House,
Или того же
Mr.
Джума
Linny
Ли.
and Miss Lynette. That's
Не
enough
знаю.
for now.
Первое впечатление просто... Какая-то, я не знаю вообще. Неординарная, но, блин. Куку откройте называется.
Just like that! She's gone! Well, that's the most unpredictable Archon Paimon's ever seen. You never even had a chance to ask her anything. But that's a problem for future Paimon. That whole scene just now was real...
Don't mention it. I just happened to remember that there was such a law, so I did a little preparation, just in case. I didn't think it would actually come in handy. So, now do you see what kind of god...
She can be a bit confusing at times, but she is still amenable to reason.
Anyway, Paimon had no idea you were a magician, Linny.
I just know a few simple tricks I use to make a living. Lynette is my assistant. It will actually be my first time performing on the most prestigious stage in Fontaine, the Opera House.
But isn't the Opera House where criminal trials are held in Fontaine?
When there are no public trials being held, the Opera House hosts a variety of other performances. To the people. And speaking of performances, I would.
My brother's always excited to make new.
Oh, sure. We don't really have anything to do now, and we wanted to go to the Opera House anyway.
Splendid. In that case, why don't we go together? Oh, you really mean it? This is a magical item known as a magic pocket.
Huh? What are they going to use it for?
Блин, а где же событие-то?
About that. I'm not sure
Как бы
exactly when it
какое
began, but a prophecy has been
представление
circulating around
Фурина не
Fontaine.
выдало, но это хоть какое-то там более такое событие интересное было.
It says that every person in Fontaine is born with sin. No matter how the nation of justice holds trial after trial, this sin cannot be absolved. Until one day, the water levels in Fontaine will rise, and the sinful people will slowly be drowned. In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed.
That sounds pretty gloomy. Why are people in Fontaine born with sin?
There are lots of guesses. Some say that the ancestors of Fontaine stole the power of the seas and stirred its wrath. Others say that the people of Fontaine never heeded the first Hydro Archon's warnings and offended Celestia. But here in Fontaine, evidence is what matters. There hasn't been concrete evidence for any of these claims, so they can only be regarded as conjecture.
If even the people in Fontaine don't know what sin they committed, wouldn't...
That's exactly what the people did at first. But in the last few years, the water levels in Fontaine have actually...
Many places have already been completely submerged.
Many people carry on with their lives as before and shrug it off as a natural phenomenon. But my family and I think that the people of Fontaine shouldn't ignore the possibility, which would end up sentencing them to death. We hope that at least the people who reside near the waterfront can move away before it's too late. So, we've started distributing magic pockets to them. As a magical item, these magic pockets have
Oh, Paimon gets it! It's like...
Perhaps only absolute power could ever contend with such a Now, if you'd like to help, then please give these magic pockets to anyone.
О, достижение. Так. Где этот ваш гидроархонт? Сейчас поговорим, блин. Я не понял немного. Что за фигня?
So you're the blonde traveler that... Oh, a magic pocket? Thanks.
Да. Бла-бла-бла, спасибо, все дела.
What's this? So you also believe in the prophet?
What? You mean...
No, I believe in the prophecy. The story says that people once lived in the ocean. As time wore on, people desired to live on land and developed blood vessels. So, if you ask me, when the water rises...
Oh, we hadn't heard that one before. But people...
All right, I'll take it. I guess I just feel that being...
Так. Ну, блин. Так.
don't want that thing. The way I see it, if the prophecy's life is all about living in the moment. What use is there in worrying about the future all the time? Well,
You should still take it. You never know.
oh, all right, fine. Thanks. It's just that...
Oh, you already handed out all of the magic pockets? That was fast. So, yes, but that will change once disaster strikes. I know they'll change their minds, so it's...
Is there anything else you need to do before we leave?
Yes, one last thing. I have the magic pockets made by a workshop in the core...
So, you want to collect materials? Just tell us what the materials look like and we'll help. Many hands make light work.
Oh, that would be much appreciated. We'll need some romaritime flowers. I remember...
Так, соберите материал для создания волшебных сумок. Где я их должен собрать? Стрелочка как-то вниз показывает. Может быть, под воду надо запрыгнуть, я не знаю. Здесь где-то. Так, быстрее будет.
Means we have to use Hydro to collect romaritime flowers.
Да легко.
You made quick work of that. I can tell you're an experienced traveler. Maybe next time you'll feel like helping too, Lynette.
No way. I'm in power-saving mode today. Otherwise, I fear I may...
Fine. Though the performance is still a long way off. Now that we're finished here, we should get ready to head back to the court of Fontейn.
So, we're going to the court of Fontaine before we head to the opera house? Good. Paimon wants a tour of Fontaine's life.
И попробовать что?
Wait, shh. Have you noticed that person over there? The young girl.
Ноунейм какой-то.
What's wrong with her? Paimon didn't notice anything.
Magicians and thieves practice similar methods. We divert attention and a distracted audience watch her movements carefully.
Oh, he's right.
Shh, keep your voice down. We need to think of a way to catch her, but it seems she's very alert. You two can ride the lift over there and wait up top. I bet that'll be her escape route if she tries to run. All right, let's go.
Так. А теперь наверх надо, да? Ну да, все правильно.
This is the spot where Linny
Стрелочка не просто так.
Did she notice us? She started running. What should we do?
Да потому что ты орешь много, блин.
You're right. She might also... Nothing's happened for a while now. Paimon wonders if Lenny caught the thief. Yeah, let's go.
Да они угорают, что ли? А, ясно.
Are you sure that's all she took? You should check to make sure you're not missing anything else.
No, that was all. Oh, I can't thank you enough. Anyway, I should be going now.
Oh, were you returning what the thief had stolen?
That's right. Pity I wasn't able to catch her. She distracted me by dropping the thing she stole on the ground.
I saw the general direction she went, but Lenny twisted his ankle, and I needed to make sure he was okay.
Oh, did you...
I'll be alright. It's just a twisted ankle, that's all.
If you want to play at being a hero, at least try not to get hurt doing it. Imagine what would happen if you managed to derail our performance as a result.
You're right, you're right. I have to admit that the thief was even more skilled than I had anticipated. But at least we were able to get the stolen items back, so it was...
What a slippery little thief. Guess things turned out all...
Alright, let's put this little detour behind us.
So, we ride this thing to go into the city? What an ingenious way to get around!
This is an aquabus. It allows people to travel between several... It's pretty convenient, but the ride can become a little dull after a while. The scenery is always...
So you mean it's still boring, even when I'm riding with you?
Ну, конечно, ты же не разговариваешь.
No, that's not what I meant. It's just that, well, you don't really talk that much. Besides, it doesn't really feel like a real trip when it's just the two of us. It's the same as being at home.
Whatever.
Guess that's what it's like to be an older brother.
It's about time for us to leave. Let's get on board.
Huh?
What? Traveler! Paimon!
Charlotte!
Oh, I'd never guessed I'd bump into you all riding the aquabus. In the story of my life, this is big news. What are you doing in Fontaine? I didn't hear anything about you paying us a visit.
Yeah, it's quite the coincidence. But as travelers, we're always on the move. It's not though we still have no idea how the Hydro Archon knew about us. Oh, let Paimon introduce you to our new friends!
Oh, no need for introductions, Paimon. I wouldn't be much of a reporter if I didn't know who they were. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you. From the Steambird, huh?
It's an honor to meet you.
Now that everyone knows each other, Fontaine suddenly doesn't feel... So, what have you been up to lately, Charlotte? Any big news?
Not too much. When there isn't any breaking news, I mainly cover the trials at the Opera House. You can still manage to keep readers' attention as long as you tell things from a clever enough angle, even if it's the same old topics. For example, reporting on how a scammer once deceived vulnerable girls into relationships, or how a financial criminal was once so poor that they ate a single piece of bread for 5 days. You're right. Seems you know me pretty well. What I'm really after is exclusive, sensational news pieces that could shake the country. These
smaller stories are a waste of my talents. Oh, I just remembered. I've been following a case lately. Well, a series of cases, actually.
You mean the serial disappearances of young...
That's right! These stories are the talk of the town right now, and it's probably if I'm the first with a draft ready to publish when the case is finally cracked, and it's the headline story in the Steambird. Oh, when that happens, I bet all the other reporters will shed tears of envy. I've already gathered all kinds of materials. I just can't wait for the truth to be revealed. So, what is the serial disappearances of young women case? You mean the culprit hasn't been found? That's right. The first missing girl case happened almost 20 years ago. And ever since, after a period of time, another girl disappears. What the cases have in common is that the girls are all of a similar age, and that they've all vanished without a trace. But the scariest part is that to this day, none of the girls have ever... Many suspects have been arrested over the years in connection with this case, but shortly after each arrest, another disappearance would always happen. Yes, it's possible. But either way, I believe...
Yes, I agree. And at the very least, the family of the... I just imagined for a second what I would do if Lynette were to suddenly disappear. I'd pay any price to get her back, and then find a way to track down the culprit.
Please don't imagine that, Linny.
Hey, we're almost there! Look! Well, I really enjoyed chatting with you. Life should be full of pleasant little surprises like this. Yeah, us as well. The ride went by too quickly. I have an interview to get to. I should get going before I'm late. Okay, Hyman hopes... Bye now. Oh, be sure to stop by and see me at the... What a tough job. Always running around and interviewing everyone?
If you don't mind, how about we stop by my home first? Besides, I still have all the
Sure, we wouldn't mind at all. This city is so huge. Paimon would...
Так, я считаю, мне надо перерыв взять, приготовить немного поесть. Ну, сюда, естественно, принести. А то иначе нельзя. Заранее гляну, что там по заданиям легенд они типа что-то вы должны там выполнить, чтобы, ага, предшествующие все дела. А, ну это уже другое. Ну да, все вот эти главы надо 4-й, 5-й выполнить, и все готово будет. Так, пока перерыв надо взять.
All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging.
Does this big machine run on clockwork too? Does this big machine run on clockwork too? Does this big machine run on clockwork too?
The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory.
Does this big machine run on clockwork too?
Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever. The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory. the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging. Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever. The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory. Dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging. The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory. All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging. Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever. The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory. the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion.
Run on clockwork too?
I stand before it, alone and unchanging. The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory.
Does this big machine run on clockwork too?
Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever. The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory. All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging. The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory.
Так, а чё у меня этот мелькает экран? Нехорошо получается. Вот, теперь нормально все. Так, сейчас еще какой момент. Забавно. Ладно, потом эту новость почитаю. Так, что дальше? Наконец-таки уже будут гемчики давать, самое важное.
This is our current abode. Ah, Fremine, you're home. Where did everyone else go? I have some new friends that I would like to introduce.
Oh, they all just went out a moment ago.
I see. Everyone is getting busier now that Father will be returning soon. Allow me to introduce you to my little brother, Fremine. He is a phenomenal diver.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. Oh, you sound very...
Linny, could you come here for a moment?
What is it, Fremine? Do you have something to tell me? Okay, I see.
Is everything all right?
Oh, it's nothing. We were just discussing... Oh, before I forget, the Traveler and I collected more materials to make magic pockets.
Yes, I went diving and gathered lots of materials.
That's our Fremine, always quick with...
looks like rain.
Oh, you're right. But wasn't it clear and sunny just a moment ago?
I'm afraid that's just how it is here. It often rains on days.
What's wrong, Fremine?
There's a legend about the rain that I tend to believe. It's said that a dragon of water once resided in Fontaine. Though we don't know where the dragon went, every time it weeps, when I was a child, my mother told me that if I wanted to go outside and play, I should yell toward the sky at the top of my lungs. Hydro Dragon! Hydro Dragon! Don't cry!
If it's an elemental dragon, then having the power to make it rain wouldn't be very Let Paimon try something. Hydro Dragon, don't cry!
Doesn't seem to be of any use. It is just a legend after all.
You know, you might be a more popular magician if you understood the concept of romanticism. Or
Sorry, it might be because we've never met the Hydro Dragon. Perhaps it can't be comforted by the... It rained for longer than I suspected. Oh, it's already getting late.
Was there something you needed to do, Linny?
Yeah, some preparations for the show at the Opera House. I need to find a way to catch the... On the day of the performance, just ride the aqua bus to the island of Aeneas. I'll have Lynette meet you at the
Oh, are you leaving now?
What is it, Fremine? I'm in a hurry. Oh, perhaps we could trouble the Traveler to help us take these materials to the Baume. I'm afraid that Fremine can be quite introverted. And the boss there tends to be pretty talkative. Fremine has always been a little afraid of her.
No trouble at all. Don't worry, we're on the case.
Sorry for the inconvenience. I'm quite useless when it comes to such tasks.
Oh, no need.
Ну и что там за хозяйка будет? И здесь все. Ну-ка. Ноунеймерша, походу. Как обычно.
Hello? Is there anyone here?
Oh, hello there. New customers? Looking to buy, or do you need something made? Or perhaps you're just looking for a chat with me.
Oh no, we're just here to deliver some materials.
Ah, these must be for Magic Pockets. I could tell right away. I've already made several orders worth. No need. They've already prepaid several batches worth. When they told me what they'd be using them for, I even offered them a discount, but they insisted on paying the full amount, saying that I had a business to run.
Wow. So,
I can't say for sure, but who knows? Maybe there's good money to be made.
hey, is this machine what you use to make stuff here? It looks really advanced.
Why use your hands when a machine can do the work? It would be a waste not to use the latest technology, and wasting is a kind of crime.
But where does a big machine like that?
Well, it's a little but basically, everything we usually use here in the city is powered by indemnitium.
Huh? How can trials produce that?
Well, I'm not completely sure of all the... When a trial is in session, the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale harvests people's belief in justice and converts it into energy.
So that's what its other function is? Paimon heard that the Oratrice was... But... Paimon still doesn't get it. How could something unreliable like people's beliefs be turned into a stable power source for these machines? Oh, yeah! So that means the Hydro Archon relies on the machine to take the...
Even though I've never heard anyone really put it that way before. Besides indemnitium, we have another type of energy. It isn't produced by the power of the Archon, but it is unstable.
I thought I'd find you hard at work, but here you are chatting the day away. Since you're already talking, I'm sure you wouldn't mind a few words with me.
You again? Didn't I already promise you that I'd have the more I owe to Confrérie of Cabriere by next month? What?
Yeah, but how do we know that you won't go running off by the end of this month? I want 50% today. Wait, no, 70%.
Huh?
Seems business isn't so great for the workshop. We've already finished our job and delivered the materials. Maybe?
Hey, hold on. Before you go around trying to collect payments, why don't you settle your own debts first? If Confrérie of Cabriere wants to poach clients from Northland Bank, that's fine. But I'm afraid you still owe the bank a hefty sum of mora. So why don't we work things out between us first, before you get back to your little conversation here?
You're from Northland Bank. But we said we'll pay everything we owe next month.
Traveler, Paimon! I didn't think I'd run into you here in Fontaine. What are the chances?
We're surprised to see you too. What are you doing here in Fontaine? You didn't want to stay in Snezhnaya?
Long story short, I've already been in Fontaine for some time now. And honestly, but it seems that fate brought our paths together today. Not only will I have some good friends here now, but ones who always seem to find either way you look at it. It seems things are going to get a lot...
Pretty sure we'd want to avoid anything that you'd find interesting. Besides, our trip here has gone pretty well so far. Right, Traveler?
Hey, you, Northland Bank boy.
Don't interrupt. It's not often I run into the Traveler like this. Why don't you wait for me over there?
You kidding? Aren't you the one looking for us? You really expect us? Listen to me, boy. If you want your mora, fine. Why don't you come and take it?
Hey, I just said not to interrupt. Oh, by the way, Traveler, the last time I took Tonya and Tusser ice fishing, Tusser said...
Hey! That's way over the line! All right, boys, let's see who has to pay up now!
Can you at least let me finish one sentence? Fine. Though the bank told me not to get rough with our clients. You're the ones who started it. This is an act of self-defense. You two will have to be my witnesses, okay?
I'm sure this won't take long.
Yeah, brace yourself. This is gonna hurt.
What's your deal, Brad? How are you so strong if you're just a staffer from Snezhnaya's Northland Bank? Wait.
Oh, now you notice. It's a little late, don't you think? Just make sure you understand that you don't mess... Huh?
Now's my chance!
Huh. That was weird. I'm not sure. It's as if I suddenly lost control of my hydro powers when I needed them. Maybe there's something wrong with my vision?
Strange. How could that happen? First time Paimon's up.
Never mind. It doesn't matter. If I want to stay sharp, I shouldn't be relying too much on my vision anyway. Besides, I always have my delusion in case I need it.
So what are you doing in Fontaine, child? I don't see it's work for Northland Bank.
Well, I guess it's because I've been in a bad mood lately.
Huh? What kind of reason is that?
I don't know. Maybe but recently, there seems to be some sort of restless power stirring inside.
Maybe you losing control of your vision just now is connected with that.
That is a possibility. I can't remember if I ever mentioned it before, but when I was 14, I fell into... It was during that time I learned nearly all of my abilities. The one who took me under her wing and taught me was named Skirk. She was always quiet and very mysterious, Nobody knew where she came from or what she had been through, and she was always very strict when teaching me combat techniques. One time, I asked her why she was willing to take me on as an apprentice. From what I could make of her answer, because I had awakened it, and traces of it remained on me. She said that all my combat training would be useful in the future.
But what is it? What did you awaken?
She never explained that. But my guess is that it's related to a dream I saw when I had just fallen into that. In my dream, I was in the deepest depths of the sea, and the boundless seabed was all around me.
A whale? Oh, that sounds familiar! When we fought against you before?
That's just an abstract form of a whale that I create using my elemental powers. It takes that shape because the scene I dreamt of the whale has always been stuck in my mind. I'll never forget it.
So you used the whale as inspiration for one of your moves? Huh. Seems a little twisted to punch. So why don't you just go ask your master? Maybe she knows the answer.
You make it sound so easy. Ever since the incident I experienced there, I've never stopped searching for Master Skirk and that unknown abyss. But it's been years now, and I've still found nothing. There isn't even...
Oh, it sounds like...
Yeah, I'm out of leads at this point, but there's nothing more I can do. It seems that strange encounters in this world... Oh, seems the time really flies when I'm talking with you. I just remembered...
What? More work for the North...
No, it's more of a personal appointment. Lately, I've been sparring with some of Fontaine's official champion duelists whenever I'm feeling bored.
Official champion duelists? You mean it's their job to duel?
Yep. In Fontaine, before a criminal goes to court, they're given one chance to defend their honor by requesting a duel with an official... The champion duelists are all-powerful fighters selected from among the nation's best. And the duel itself is a no-holds-barred fight with no So engaging in such a duel is regarded as a symbol of defending your honor. If a criminal manages to win the duel, they'll be acquitted. And the worst-case scenario is that you're simply killed in the duel. Though it's rumored that Fontaine has a death penalty, from what I can tell, no one has... So really, the only people who opt to duel are those who have suffered a grave injustice in being accused, or those who greatly value their honor. Otherwise, why gamble?
So, do many people actually get...
Apparently, it's exceedingly rare for anyone to actually win. Fontaine probably enacted this system as a way to show that the nation... Besides, none of the champion duelists are to be trifled with, which is exactly why I was... Apparently, the one I'm meeting today, Clorend, is the strongest of the champion duelists. I had been asking her for some time before she finally agreed to face me to...
Well, that's child for ya. Paimon feels like we heard...
Oh, before I forget, I want you to have this.
Huh? Your vision?
I'm just worried that it could become uncontrollable again. I'd be pretty upset if it got in the way of my duel, so I think I'll be better off without it. Besides, I just need you to hold on to it for a short...
Paimon knows what you're up to. You just want an excuse to come...
Whatever gave you that idea? I'll be in touch later.
That sneaky guy. He said he's been feeling down lately, but he seemed... Well, since we don't have much to do for now, we might...
Интересно, угадаю ли сейчас, что типа Навия должна будет появиться? Хотя вряд ли, мне кажется.
Sorry. Paimon was just surprised, that's all. Paimon, the whodunits here in Fontaine are a lot different than the light novels you see from Yai Publishing House. Both have their merits, but it's so exciting to reach the moment when the mystery is uncovered, especially in the one Paimon was just reading. You should buy a copy and read it too. Oh, sorry about that. Hey, shouldn't we be heading to the Opera House? Lenny said that the Opera House is on Aranea, so let's go ride the Opera bus.
Так, я не понял. Давай сядем в аквабас. А зачем? Ну, типа, если я могу тэпнуться. Так, кстати, сколько у меня? Ага, 44. Ну, можно к этому, кстати, зайти будет сейчас. Когда уж. По пути же. О, там стоит еще. А я не помню только, сколько стоит сбор. Так, ну по Нави-то я все собрал, в принципе, нет же? Тогда. Нет, не все. Ну можно, да, в принципе, дособирать. Ну нет. Чё? Все. Три штуки, замечательно. Так. Сару только не зарядил. Ну да ладно. Хотя, конечно, по идее, надо на теории пособирать вот эти штуки. Потому что на Навию надо очень много вот этой вот камней. Блин.
Oh, Archon, please bless us with a bright and healthy child.
I don't know why you always feel the need to ask so much.
I guess if there are, kid.
Maybe this is one of the custom...
Vache.
What's wrong?
Vache. Vache.
Ну, начались галлюцинации.
No, Paimon didn't say anything.
Welcome to the Fountain of Lucine. All the water flowing through Fontaine converges here. It's customary for...
Lynette!
Lenny asked me to wait here for you.
Right.
What do you mean? There are a lot of people here, right?
Hey, you're not trying to scare Paimon, are you?
I see. I might, in fact, you might not be imagining things at all. I suspect that what you heard is a result...
It's because of her sensitivity to the hydro element?
But when do you cry, Paimon?
Wait, what?
Just answer me. When do you cry?
When Paimon's really sad? Oh, and when Paimon's super happy. Oh, and also when Paimon's really...
Then you should understand that tears contain your most intense emotions. Like I just mentioned, the Fountain of Lucine is where all the flowing water in Fontaine converges. So maybe what you heard was the intense emotion coming from someone's tears.
So, what did the voice say? Huh. If you were hearing their
Rather than worrying about them, we should worry about my brother first. Don't let that calm look of his fool you. He tends to get pretty nervous just before a performance.
Oh, right. That...
Ой, когда же уже там будут эти экшены?
Traveler in Paimon, good to see you. I knew you two...
Are you kidding? We wouldn't miss it for the world!
I can tell, but you're actually right on time. The audience still hasn't started entering the venue yet, which...
Ну, я слишком быстро читаю всегда.
The Opera House has assigned seating, so you always have to make reservations. I've already...
Ooh, front row seat.
Don't mention it. There's no need to keep...
Hey, Lenny! Could you come over here and take a look at this?
Oh, I'll be right there. Seems there's an issue with the stage props over there. That's...
Yeah, we'll just go to our seats. You go ahead, Lenny.
Так, куда я сейчас должен? Как проходить? Наверх, что ли? Или сюда? Фига тут. Ну да, кстати, классическая такая вот балкон, этаж.
Hey, traveler. Maybe we should strike up a conversation with the person next to us. Since we're sitting together and they're... you little...
Excuse me, I did not realize you felt awkward. I am terribly sorry. I would be perfectly happy to chat with you if that is what you would like.
Oh, so you heard all of that, did ya? Boy, wait, that's not it. Paimon's sorry. Paimon's the one who was being rude, talking under her breath like that. Oh, Paimon's got it. You're also here early and sitting in the front. Are you a friend?
A friend, you say? Well, if Mr. Linney would like to be my friend, I would be more than happy to reciprocate.
Oh, so you're not friends with Linny then? Oh, this is getting more awkward by the second. Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. We just arrived in Fontaine.
It is an honor to meet you two. I have heard of your deeds across Tevat. And as required by proper etiquette, I will also introduce myself.
Oh, Monsieur Nervillet. What an honor it is to have you here to see my show.
Ah, Mr. Linney. I should say it is in fact an honor for me to see your performance in...
Wait, Nervillet?
I saw you all chatting just now, but it seems you still don't know who Monsieur Nervillet is. Allow me to introduce you to Fontaine's Chief Justice. That seat is always reserved for him. It wouldn't be too much to say that he's the symbol of justice and honesty here in Fontaine.
Кстати, хорошие манеры у Нёвелета. Абсолютно спокойный персонаж. Как день, фактически.
No offense taken. Being Chief Justice is merely what I do for work. Nearly every person has their usual reserved seat, so I'm not so special, really. And by the way, I should probably let you know, even though I would prefer not to, there's someone sitting up there in the VIP seats that has been striking a pose for quite a while now. I believe she is trying to give you a most elegant and impressive first impression.
Нифига он ее подставил.
So I think you should take notice of her sooner rather than later. Otherwise she may become flustered.
Huh? Oh, it's Farina, the Hydro Archon. Huh. She sure has a smug and satisfied look on her face.
Very good. That is for the best. No need to pay her any more attention.
Huh? So is this what things are like between the Chief Justice and the
Перерыв
Hydro
на 1
Archon?
минуту. Сейчас вернусь. Ну, блин.
All right, please wait just a moment longer. I've pretty much finished my preparations, and the performance will start as soon as the audience has made their way to their seat.
Yay! The show's finally about to start! Paima can hardly wait!
Что он сейчас будет показывать? Кролика с шляпой там, допустим, по классике. Или типа палец, короче, оторвет. Или еще что-то.
Sorry. Paima will try to stick.
Welcome, one and all, to the Opera Epiclese. I am the star of today's show, Linny. And over here is my sister, Lynette, who will be working as my wonderful assistant. Please, let's give her a warm welcome.
Hello, everyone.
I know she may seem to be a little sleepy right now, but that's just a sign that she's nervous.
Whatever.
Now, some of you may be thinking, two vision holders who can freely manipulate elemental powers performing magic is not true magic at all. So, I would like to take a moment to assure you that elemental powers will have nothing to do with what you will witness on the stage today. Both Lynette and myself have removed our visions for the show. That way, even the gods won't be able to help us.
Oh, good point. That's what makes the
Now, without further ado, let the show begin. Lynette will now exit the stage to make some preparations. I know you might miss her, but don't worry. She'll be coming right back on stage momentarily. Perhaps in an unexpected way. I'm sure she'll... Oh, and before I forget, you never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. A magician's greatest skill is making things disappear or appear. The possibilities are endless. But this isn't what you came for. These little tricks, you've seen them all before. So it's time for something truly extraordinary, don't you think? This one's a little tricky. Using this water tank, I shall make my sister vanish completely, right before your very eyes. It's actually quite simple. She'll just turn into air bubbles and float right out of the top. Oh no! I told them to check all the props carefully. With the lid on, even air can't escape. An amateur magician would be getting very nervous right around now. Luckily, it's me on stage, so let me show you what a true virtuoso can do. Lynette, are you still there? Don't go too far. We don't want to use up all our magic.
Hi, I'm back.
Uh-huh.
Ну прикольно, кстати. Я думал, она не выйдет, на самом деле. Типа всю одежду потеряла и так далее.
If we could see easily through his tricks, then that would mean that his skills are still lacking. To appreciate magic, you should focus on the show happening on stage, rather than getting caught up in trying to see that which has been intentionally hidden.
Guess you're right. Paimon couldn't believe her eyes when Lynette reappeared.
Thank you, everyone. I'm glad you enjoyed that but our magical journey has only just begun. The magic of transformation and disappearance can go far beyond what you've just seen. I'm sure many of you are thinking that escaping the water tank was impressive enough, but Lynette is still my assistant after all. In which case, I have ample time to make... So, for my next trick, I will require the participation of one lucky audience member. Please, if my assistants could bring out the magical boxes now... There are 2 boxes, and only 2 boxes. One is here, and one is there in the aisle among the audience. I'm sure many of our clever audience members have already guessed our lucky audience member and I will each enter a magic box. After 1 minute, we will each emerge. Now please, everyone pay very close attention to the box you see here. Don't give me any chance to make a move.
Wow, how's he gonna do this? Hey, do you think this is all magic tricks, or does Lenny have actual superpowers?
The lucky audience member will be generated by this random number selector. It selects numbers entirely at random. Even I don't know who will be chosen to... Now then, let's begin. Let me see... Oh, row 7, seat 3. Congratulations! You now have the chance to experience magic firsthand. Please, come forward. My assistant will take you beside... I'm sorry, it might be a little cramped inside, but no need to feel nervous. We've carefully arranged everything for you to be as comfortable as possible. You don't need to do anything, but no matter what strange things may happen, don't come out of the box. If the magic is interrupted, who knows where you might end up? You might even find yourself in the Fortress of...
Oh, okay.
All right. Before I enter the magic box, there is one more thing I need to ask the audience to do. Could you all give me a countdown?
Это та самая девка, которая своровала. Ну офигеть.
Like this. 60, 59, 58. Just keep counting down. I won't be able to see anything in the pitch black box, so I'll be relying on your voices to know when time is up. Oh, and no tricks now. If you quickly count from 60 in just 30 seconds, then I'll be in a tough spot.
Ooh! Paimon kinda wants to count faster after hearing him say that!
No, that won't do. I can see it in your eyes. Come on, repeat after me. 60, 59, 58.
60, 59, 58!
That's right, perfect. Keep it going. All right, I'll see you all on the other side once you've finished
54, 53, 52? Why aren't you counting, Nervalet?
I am counting in my head. I think things are exciting enough in here as it is. Merely a consequence of my identity and personality. Do not worry about me. Just enjoy the show.
Oh, all right. You look so serious that Paimon thought you might be feeling uncomfortable or something. 40, 39, 38!
Mr. Linney, are you all right in there? Is every...
Yes, I'm fine. I'm just double-checking the direction of the magic. It would be a disaster if we get sent to the wrong places. For example, mid-air right above the audience.
Even though he's saying that, Lenny doesn't seem nervous at all. What was that noise? Did you hear it too? Not sure. Anyway, it doesn't seem like anyone's worried about... 25! 24! 23!
What's wrong, Mr. Linney? I can still hear you moving.
I seem to have accidentally knocked over a decoration. I'm trying to fix it.
Never mind the decorations. There's no...
No, that's unacceptable. I want my show to be perfect. Don't worry.
19! 18!
It seems things aren't quite going as It feels like you're all starting to count faster, but that's alright. I know it can be tired. 10 seconds and change is still plenty.
10! Almost there now. Swapping two people is harder work than you might think. Even a master magician like me can't guarantee I'll get it right the first time. Hey, wait! Is this the back one? I can't tell. They both look the same inside. Huh? No, that's not it. I'll try again. 7! Hey, slow down! Honestly! 5! 4! 3! Whoops! That doesn't count! 0! Ta-da!
What happened?
Ну и жесть.
Is this part of the Mr. Lenny, you're going to use magic to fix...
What happened?
Oh no. Maybe this isn't part of the show. The girl was still...
This performance is over. Medical staff with me. Guards, secure the scene and detain all the performers. Seal the exits. No one is allowed in or out at this time.
Yes, that's right. If this was just an accident, then we must investigate the cause.
No need to be alarmed, you two. We'll get to the bottom of this. Unfortunately, the person who is in the magic box has been pronounced dead. His name was Cowell, one of the assistants in Linny's magic troupe.
Очень положительно, блин.
Apparently, the fireworks on stage ignited the ropes that were suspending the water tank, which then caused the tank to fall onto the stage. As of now, we are still not sure why we found Cowell in the box, rather than the guest from the audience. And after an initial search of the area, the guards have confirmed that the girl... It appears that this incident was not merely some mishap and there are many indications that it is connected with the case of the serial disappearances of young women.
That's the case that Charlotte mentioned before.
I know the truth. I can see through the whole thing. Really, using such a shallow and obvious mystery as his I say that our powerful magician, Mr. Lenny, is now the prime suspect for the serial disappearances.
Huh? Why me? This whole...
No, this all occurred during your magic show, did it not? The missing girl disappeared after being... Now that I think about it, that whole speech about magicians making things disappear was nothing more than a...
That can't be right! Huck, he was in the box on the stage the entire time! We can even hear his voice. Besides, before the show, he told us that he would like to catch the criminal behind the disappearances! He couldn't possibly mean catching himself!
Save discussion for a later time, please. Lady Farina, may I assume that your comments just now constitute an accusation against Mr. Lenny and his associates?
Huh? I just think that he... Well, I think it might be a little early to talk about...
But what Lady Farina said just now makes perfect sense. Looks like she's gonna
A kidnapping and murder carried out under the cover of a magic show. Lady Farina...
I mean, of course, my dear people. But what excites me even more than the obvious truth before our eye, that's right. I mean you, traveler. You'll support Lenny, won't you? After all, then there's no problem at all. You know, the traveler and but with Lenny's help, our little duel ended in a draw. But draws real. So, no more draws. Between the two of us, there must be a clear winner and loser. And what.
It wasn't a draw. She obviously lost last time.
I understand. Charges have now been pressed. And well, traveler, seems Lady Farina has set you in her sights. But putting her dramatic rhetoric aside for a moment, are you willing to act as Mr. Linney's attorney and defend? Very well. The trial will be held a day from now in the Opera House. Both sides may investigate the scene to build their cases and search for the truth. Linney and his troupe are all potential suspects and shall remain within the Opera House. The audience may begin to leave in an orderly fashion once they have been cleared by the guards.
A day isn't that long. Let's see what kind of case this big shot Outlander can build in such a short amount.
Lenny!
Sorry about everything that happened just now.
Of course! Who wouldn't be scared after witnessing?
Yeah, I'm a little shaken up myself. I know you already claimed that you would defend me, but now it's just us talking. Good to hear. I'm sure everyone sees me as the biggest suspect at this point. But if you ask me, the whole thing is mysteries layered up. I don't know whether what happened there on the stage was purely an accident or not. And I don't know why poor Cal was in the box. As for how that girl chosen from the audience could suddenly disappear, I'm afraid I don't have any answers either. Even a skilled and knowledgeable magician like myself couldn't pull all that off in just 1 minute.
Which is precisely why we need to investigate. As this book says, the impossible could not have happened. Whatever happened must have been that which is possible. Paimon bought them when we were reading at the bookshop in the city earlier. Pretty cool, huh? Don't worry, Paimon used her own savings to buy them. It wasn't from our travel fund.
I think they look cute on you, Paimon.
You have good taste, Lynette.
That's the right attitude. Feeling depressed isn't going to... But with the guards watching our every move, it's going to be especially difficult for Lynette and I to prove our own innocence. Good thing you agreed to be our attorneys. Thanks for that.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, just leave it to... since we're going to start investigating, Paimon has a question first.
Oh, well... I'm afraid that would involve...
The secrets behind our magic are past saving, Linny.
I suppose you're right. The truth behind our tricks... 'Tis truly a pity. As a magician, our magic show is a work of art. But if revealing our secrets will help you uncover the truth behind what happened, then it will be well worth it. We should go somewhere else if we're going to discuss our magic tricks. We'll go speak with the guards, and in the meantime, you can go investigate the stage and the seating.
All right, let's go have a look while the investigation teams are still here. Detective Paimon is on the case.
Блин. Вот такая ерунда.
Hello, officer. How's the investigation going?
I see. You must be the traveler that Lady Farina mentioned.
Huh? What?
Come with me and you'll see. The deceased is one of Linny's assistants, named Cal. Even though he hadn't joined the troupe long, he was hardworking and everyone generally... The assistants are usually in charge of setting up and inspecting the props, as well as assisting with the show and keeping the crowd engaged. As you probably saw when you were in the audience, the water tank suddenly fell and smashed the box with Cowl inside it. This is the real mystery. We've already searched the scene and were unable to find any traces of the girl. However, if you look carefully, the box was positioned directly under the water tank. The ropes holding the tank were then burned by the pyrotechnics on stage, causing them to snap. All these factors lining up so perfectly makes it hard to see that, if anything, the more logical explanation is that the whole incident was intentionally planned.
But he doesn't have a motive.
Are you both good friends of his?
Well, you can't say we're...
So in just a short time, he was not only able to win your trust, but even convince you... I know there's no such thing as magic. The real trick of a magician is holding... I've seen a lot of cases, and I can tell you that people are the least reliable kind of evidence. Sorry, I tend to be pretty straight. Anyway, you may investigate the scene of the crime yourself.
Ой, блин.
The investigation team has some new findings. Turns out there's an issue with the...
See, I told you. What if the machine picked some big guy's seat? You think the murderer would have still made his move then?
Sorry to interrupt, but we're helping Linny and Lynette with their side of the investigation.
You're trying to help them?
Linny used the machine to pick a random member of the audience during his performance, right? Though, well, we thought there might be a serious problem with the machine, so...
It turns out that the seat number it picked wasn't random at all. The machine picks that same number every time. I'm sure you already know that you have to make a reservation in advance to get a seat, regardless of whether it's a truck. In other words, Linny knew who would be sitting where from the very...
That much
Сеня, здоров.
Linny reserved our seats for us too.
Я уже как бы скоро, в принципе, заканчивать, может, буду. Не знаю, примерно плюс-минус. Ну, около 2 часов уже транслирую. Ну, так, чисто для себя. В первую очередь. Да, ты всегда, короче, как к окончанию трансляции забегаешь. Ну, просто у меня времени достаточно много, как бы утомляюсь, понятное дело. Поэтому задерживаться пока не хочу. Так бы я, может, намного дольше бы транслировал, если бы не прихворал так. Так, ну-ка еще что-то поискать. А я не только заболел, я еще и в баре был. С бара пришел. Еще там пару дней, короче говоря, покуролесил, поугорал, и в итоге получается то, что я еще и захворать успел. Но это не вирус какой-то там, ничего, а меня проморозило. Дело в том, что когда я с бара выехал, я сел на транспорт уже, да, ну то есть пересадку, короче, сделал, сел на транспорт, он и умудрился там уснуть, потому что я всю ночь гулял до утра. Он отвез меня сначала на одну конечную, а потом в другой конец города на конечную. И меня там жестко проморозило, у нас минус 30 утром было, это последняя ледяная погода такая была. У меня даже куртка, можно сказать, уже не спасала. Вот. Но сейчас, в принципе, плюс-минус на поправку иду. Ну, когда-то я с таким голосом как бы чаще всего ходил, да, допустим, пока не подкорректировал себя. Ой, вот такая вот ерунда. Но сейчас я просто в нос немного говорю.
She's a painter from Fontейн who's made a bit... Apparently, she wasn't a regular at the Opera House, but she'd been feeling some pressure with her work lately, which made her decide. The Magic Troupe members all claim not to know her. We have looked into her social connections. It seems that she has no personal grievances or conflicts of interest with the... Simply put, she wasn't related to the Magic Troupe at all. Which match...
Were the victims of previous cases also...
That's how it seems to
Да,
us.
конечно, я выздоровлю. Ну, дело времени. Как бы я, в принципе, чувствую, что уже скоро выздоравливать буду. Потому что иглу я же не вирус подхватил, а именно вот меня проморозило нехило так. Так что это нормально.
Okay then.
No need to be so formal. If you do happen to see the missing girl, it is of utmost importance that we get to the bottom of these disappearances.
Ну, я, так сказать, сейчас сижу, вот чисто на чили сюжетку смотрю, потому что Valorant бегать, ну это вообще капец. Я сначала, кстати, думал, что мне хана будет, но фишка в том была, то, что ну, неплохо так и раздавал, потому что вообще на расслабоне был.
So this is the rope that broke and caused the water tank to fall. The rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so quickly by fireworks? Why are you suddenly so serious, traveler?
Так, ну и что тут у нас в итоге?
Whoa. Look! This bit is made from most of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit of it left. Huh. So if a rope meant to hold something was made... Wait! Paimon...
Так, а я что, должен по всему этому театру, что ли, блин, пробежать? Капец какой-то. Где эта книжка долбаная, которая записывает все результаты? Так.
Whoever the murderer was, this rope was... People needed to register. Why would it be... Gosh. No wonder the
Офигеть, тут
serial
квест,
disappeared.
короче. Это какая-то жесть просто, я не знаю. Я попал, походу. Так. Секунду.
Lenny's still talking to the guards. I think someone will be assigned to monitor us later.
Тут, походу, ничего нету такого. По Far Cry, ну сейчас Far Cry уже не особо, так знаешь, как бы популярен, наверное, я не знаю. Ну типа, кто-то помнит ее как сингловую игру просто. А так я уже третью, четвертая часть у меня такие вот, которые я достаточно играл, но сейчас это вряд ли кому-то будет, так сказать, интересно. Аудитории, по крайней мере, там точно не найти. Но четвертый Far Cry вышел в 2014 году. Уже просто много времени с этого прошло. Третья вообще в 2012. Я тоже их проходил. Просто сейчас уже как бы у людей нету особого интереса, чтобы в это играть. Ну, то есть ты можешь вот пройти, там карту зачистить, все такое. У меня, по-моему, даже на аккаунте с Ubisoft третья часть была, а четвертая не было, да. Но четвертая так, короче. Ну, они потом, после вот этой части, по-моему, пятая еще такая нормальная часть была. Но я не играл в нее, по-моему, вообще. Так немного посмотрел в начало сюжета. Ну, о чем вообще игра, но не скачивал. Ну и все, в принципе, остальное уже как-то там такое себе что-то, по-моему, пошло. Ну, аванпосты прикольно, когда вот я в третьей части Джиггернаутов, короче, простреливал. Там винтовка, короче, есть такая. Именно в Far Cry 3. Третья снайперская винтовка, которая просто все бронежилеты прошибает насквозь. И когда ты с нее стреляешь, если, по-моему, на нее глушитель нельзя вешать, или можно, не знаю. То есть она так гремит, что там просто вообще на всю карту, наверное, слышимость. Не, ну это понятно, но просто я говорю, то, что игра сейчас как бы не актуальна. Тот же Киберпанк, он был бы более актуальным. Ну а записывать как бы, там что-то видео уже все от этого разобрано.
Yes, exactly. It's just that everyone was awaiting the results of Lenny's trick with bated breath. So that makes... I'm of the opinion that when the pyrotechnics went off, she cut the rope. Wait, wasn't the noise we heard too... Perhaps the balance wasn't right, leading to a particularly rough landing. Oh, that's true. That does remind Paimon...
Там есть обилка, чтобы их резать. Ну, да, как бы. Да всякие обилки там есть абсолютно везде. Так, как мне, кстати, в эту вот фигню пройти сейчас? Я что-то загрузить попытались, короче, по ходу этим квестом. Самый красивый четырехзвездочный персонаж, это ты про кого имеешь в виду? Как мне пройти этот, блин? Он показывает, туда надо идти, а что-то... Может там дверь должна это открыться? Опять же. Так что за четырехзвездочный персонаж, типа вот? Ты про нее говоришь? А. Ну да, все в порядке.
Hey, you. Yes, both of you. Over here.
О!
Keeping an eye on you for a while now.
Ну наконец-то.
You mean us? That's right. If I'm not mistaken, you're also among those who wish to cut down the thorns and pursue the truth. No? And by the...
Well, you're right on the more about that one, but who are you?
Have you never heard of the Spina di Rosula? From mediating disputes and providing protection to solving conundrums, you name it, Spina di Rosula does it. And I, Navia, have the honor of being its renowned president.
Что-то люди, смотрю, заходят. А я уже заканчивать как бы собирался. Но я могу как бы, знаете, что сделать? Я могу перекусить просто. Как бы пищу принес и все дела. Но я думаю, как бы не особо людям интересно смотреть вот сюжетку. И не все, в принципе, читают достаточно быстро, как я.
I'm Silver, her attendant. Pleased to meet you.
And I'm Melus. Demoiselle's various daily needs and affairs are under my purview.
Он только что сказал: в моем ведении находятся повседневные нужды Демуазель. То есть он за ней подглядывает, что ли? Или что это вообще такое?
Generation president. Malus and the others are still used to my previous title.
My apologies, Demoiselle. Should you prefer, boss, I will endeavor to use that instead.
No need. You don't have to call me boss. Just Navia is fine.
Okay, if you say so.
All merely trifling details. Never mind. Now, back to the situation at hand. That's right. I've always kept an eye on the serial disappearance cases. My interest stems from a matter back from my father's time. Judging from the look of things, I find Linny an unlikely mastermind.
Really? We think so too! That's why we're looking for clues now! But how did you come to that conclusion?
Intuition, naturally. My unparalleled intuition. For Rena sure was quick to point the finger at Linny without any decisive evidence. But that's not uncommon for her. If you remember, the Justice had to interrupt her and ask if she was pressing charges just to keep her from getting carried away.
Сцена была, ну, озвучка не всегда совпадает, допустим, с тем, как, короче, задумалось под оригиналом. Ну, то есть они рты не открывают всегда под войс.
Anyway, a trial begins the moment someone levels charges. And, of
То есть,
course,
видишь,
there was no way Farina was going to back down in that
вот она
situation.
говорит, а рот закрытый, мол. Ну, типа, анимация закончилась, а фраза продолжается, потому что по-английски, скорее всего, она звучит дольше, в отличие от китайского оригинала.
Sounds more like you just don't trust the Hydro Archon.
Well, what's your opinion? I must admit that she can be interesting at times, but liking her doesn't mean that I'll blindly agree with her. All right, I've answered your question. Now, it's time you answer mine.
Wait a minute, did that answer count?
Well, I say it does. But don't worry, you won't hear any pointless questions from me. In your opinion, do you think it's right to treat a trial like it's an opera?
Well?
And why would that be? See, Silver and Maloose? I told you they'd be different.
Most astute of you, demoiselle. I too think that the travelers, no matter how wonderful the script or how fervent the audience's expectations may be, that if that can be done, boss, then...
All right, that's quite enough, Maloose. Now, I need to make some preparations, following which our joint investigation shall commence.
Wait! Since when did we become assistants?
Oh, well, I can be the assistant, sure. Or your companion, if you like. I'm really not that fussy.
That's more like it.
Far be it from me to brag, but I believe that Demoiselle's intuition will be instrumental in uncovering the truth. You wish to save a friend from false accusations, and we wish to unravel the disappearances. In this sense, our goals are aligned.
You have a point. You're quite... And what about you over there? What do you think? You seem like you've got something on your mind.
I have nothing to add.
Oh, alrighty then.
We'll be making some preparations first. Just be sure to let us know if they start revealing Linny's tricks. Thanks!
Так, ладно. Что-то я еще не досмотрел. Вот в зоне действия. Ага. То есть я почти закончил вот этот момент. И можно с него будет как бы уже уйти.
Speaking of that, I think magic shows...
I can see that. Maybe I should try to learn some magic. If I could make things disappear, cleaning my room would be a cinch.
Ну, я уже прочитал просто про уборку, пока она договаривала.
About such things, demoiselle. That falls under my duties.
Oh.
Кристана? Как в Лиге Легенд, что ли? Офигеть.
Sorry, but no one can freely enter or exit the Opera House at the moment.
No, we're not leaving. Were you always guarding this entrance?
Yes. After the Chief Justice gave the order, everyone coming in or so, the missing girl couldn't have left from here. At least, not from that point on. I doubt there was much opportunity.
How can you be so sure?
Well, because I couldn't see Linny's performance from here, which was quite a shame. Just my luck. But still, I did not abandon my post, and I stayed put no matter how loud the applause was. If someone had so much as... We Melusines are good at that sort of thing, you know.
So, it's safe to say the girl couldn't... Alright, thank you for your help. This'll be useful info. We've checked everything of note here at the performance venue. shall we? Ooh, things are getting interesting, huh?
Understood. Then I will be going with you. Just so you're aware, I will be monitoring your act.
Very good. Thanks for being so agreeable. I'd pull a rose out of my hat as a gift for you if I could.
You may spare the pleasantries. I'm just doing my job.
You've arrived. Who's this?
Me? I'm Spina di Rosula's guardian angel. If you've got a problem, I've got the firepower.
Я понял, откуда вот этот вот скриншот, короче, раньше брался. Ну давай, удачи. Буду поправляться по мере возможности.
Sorry, I got a little carried away there. Calm, and these are my companions. Would you mind if they join as well?
Fine by me.
Oh, new helpers? I would be most grateful.
Well, let's just say we're tagging along. It's not every day you get to see the secrets behind magic.
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage.
Huh? Below stage?
Yes, a world of secrets is hidden beneath this magic box, prepared specifically for this switcheroo. But before I reveal everything, you should have a look first. Notice anything strange here? I'm not trying to be dramatic. Remembering the details of a trick will help you understand the methods used to perform it more easily.
Huh. Weren't there balloons and other decorations here?
Ah, good eye. That said, you're still far from discovering the answer.
The back? You mean the inside of the door? What's...
Very good indeed. I thought you might not be able to catch that, given that you were sitting in the first row. The back of this door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you put 2 and 2 together, what do you get? Exactly. All right, let's go. I'll tell you how it works as we head down.
Oh, so there was a passageway under the magic box!
I knew you'd figure out most of it. The 2 magic boxes are positioned right above the See this flatbed trolley? The box with the lucky audience member in it would be
This trolley can raise and lower and even rotate, ensuring that the box will face.
I see. So that's the purpose of the...
Precisely. The inner box would descend after the audience member was put inside and be moved along the trolley.
So that's how you did it!
Once the box was lowered, the trolley would store some energy through this device here. The audience member would only be able to feel some slight movements in the dark, and by the time she walked out...
Right! You were talking that whole time, and you even came out...
Ah, yes. A phonograph operated by Lynette was used to achieve that effect. My assistant and I had already scripted our conversation beforehand. When the countdown began, I had already gone to the opposite box via a tunnel using that ladder.
And what about Lynette?
I was in the mezzanine space in the back of the box.
Oh, interesting!
That's how we were able to coordinate Lenny's lines with the assistant. And, by the way, I was the one who walked out of the box at the end.
I mean, we are twins. All it takes is a change of clothes and no one can tell who's who. And that's my favorite part of this trick. Only Lynette and I can perform it.
So that's how it all worked! Wow!
Lynette would briefly walk out of the box and then go back in, jumping into the tunnel and escape, and then I walk out of the other box in the audience area. And the trick, but as you saw, Cal was in the box, not our audience member. She, on the other hand,
We really don't know how that happened.
If not for that interlude, this would have been an astonishing trick. I probably never would have figured out how you pulled it off. And yet, to think that someone was able to use this magic... Could we have a look around? I think we can come up with some.
This is the scene of the crime, so Linny and Lynette are not permitted to stay here. I'll escort them back up.
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now. I won't disappear into thin air, you know.
Thanks, everyone. We're counting on you.
Why would it be? We all the recoil, and that taking a tunnel just for whoever the murderer was.
The floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
Speaking of which, why?
Oh, Paimon knows. It's one of those and here's a broken vase.
That can't be.
Let's note this down. Looks like a hook tied to the end of a rope. Huh?
Perhaps it was a prop for a different trick.
Whatever it is.
Oh, these are the clothes. Her clothes are here, but she's nowhere to be.
Right. And do you really need to do... Ugh, this is so confusing. What is this place?
It seems someone could fit through.
Huh. Could.
Alone, perhaps. But if they had to...
But there are no other ways in or out of here. Oh, you're right. Let Paimon write that down. Seems we're just about done investigating down here.
И все, в принципе.
Yes. Let's head back up.
Да блин, не то.
Well, we've ascertained the state of the crime scene. Let's find a place to sort out our findings once Malus returns. Seems to...
Apologies for the wait.
So, what did the guards say? Did the criminal...
They believe the odds of that are very low, since the guards have checked the area carefully. No one left through the basement during the performance or after the incident.
So the tunnels become like a secret chamber then.
The plot thickens. Halsey's disappearance and Cal... No wonder Farina was so confident in her accusation. All the current evidence points toward Linny and Lynette.
In other words, the charges are very likely to be upheld unless we make some
Charges and then trial.
That's right. This is how a trial goes in the Opera House. During the proceedings, the Chief Judge... That's right. This is how indemnity... The statements from both sides, the defenses, to put it simply, it's as if the oratrice has...
This also precludes any kind of favoritism on the part of the Chief Judge.
Once both sides have finished speaking, the Chief Justice will then find...
In practice,
Да все, короче, пора заканчивать. Времени уже очень много, блин, прошло, а я до сих пор в этом...
In that case, let's just sort out our findings together here. I mean, what better way to properly think through our...
Breaking out, settle. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Hmm? What do you mean, No snacks.
Of course. Huh?
Understood, Demoiselle. Everyone, please come with me.
Wait, you're carrying a portable...
Yes, I must be prepared to meet the demoiselles.
I have eggs, sugar, and almonds at...
Good work, you two. Then I'll get to it. Please sit tight for a moment. These three are quite the interesting group. And from the way you had these two guys carrying all that, but you ended up doing the entire...
I was applauding.
And I was giving encouraging smile.
Well, I don't think it's carved in stone anywhere that fancy ladies can only... Don't underestimate... Anyway.
Only
Well, eating too many sweet treats might...
Tea is ready to be served as well. This is Demoiselle's favorite. No need for concern. I'm mere...
Так, все, давайте это, блин. Сюжетка. Вы что-то вот затягивают они.
Exactly. Why would they do such a thing right when everyone was
the flower vase and resulting in the perhaps the crib?
Paimon thinks that makes...
True, but...
Huh. Could Halsey?
That's right. And even if she... Nor does she have...
From the sound of your macaron... What? 5?
Please don't worry about it. At my age, a few less sweet...
No. Being greedy is one. Besides, Paimon knows that if she ate too many, then others wouldn't have enough. Wait, even you don't believe Paimon? If Paimon ate those 2 extra macarons, then...
All right, we get it. Well, Malus, set up the stove again, if you would.
Huh? What?
Making sure everyone gets 3 macarons, of course.
Exactly. We don't want to...
As you wish, Demoiselle.
And I have the egg, sugar, and...
Well, this...
Well, that's it for snack time. I don't know what it would be awkward if you...
All right,
it was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Malus, it's time to go.
Ну ладно, наконец-то это все закончилось. Зачем растягивать так было? Ну все. Наконец можно закончить. Пойти, наверное, поесть нормально, привести себя немного в порядок. Все-таки не могу я долго находиться за трансляцией. Поэтому как-то так. Хорошо, что хоть кто-то заходил, с кем-то парой слов перекинулся.